with.
Look, you didn't make
Hello,
too
we're
fun
live.
of me.
WinDailySports.com. Hello, everyone. How are you? It's the NBA playoff DFS preview show. How you doing, Ghost?
Better than you.
Thanks, man. No, I
Better than you.
appreciate that.
Look, I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna take it easy.
Take it easy.
You didn't rub it in. You didn't rub it in with me with Miami Heat, so I'm not gonna do it. But that was bad. That was bad.
What the? Ooh, I can't do that. What happened? What happened? What happened?
It's
Tell
really
me what
sad.
happened.
It's really sad that you have to take your defensive player of the year off the court because he can't hit a free throw.
That's it. That's why they blew a 26-point lead.
Well, no, like nobody made a shot other than Embiid and Curry in the second half. Nobody made a shot.
And they're elite.
That's a pretty wild stat.
Their elite,
it's
amazing defense gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter. 40 points?
Well, Ben was on for half of it. Ben wasn't on for half of it because he can't hit a free throw. Like
40 points. What is that?
That's
You are fine. You score only 19 points in a quarter. Cool. Don't give up 40. Like you give up only 30 points, you win that game.
I shouldn't be laughing. I'm sorry.
I shouldn't either, but like, damn, man.
That was bad, man.
What do you do?
Really, really bad.
Everybody's talking about the offense. Like, no, they gave up 40 points.
But my issue is that, like, can I really pick on their defense when Ben's on the bench for half of that?
I guess.
That's my issue. It's like
right.
That goes back to game one when you had Danny Green covering Trae Young. It's game one all over again.
I hate it. I hate all of it. I hate everything.
Trae didn't do anything in the first. Trae didn't do anything in the first. Ben was on him.
Didn't do anything in the second. How did a team that went from scoring 16 points in the second quarter, 16, scored 29 the quarter after and 40 the quarter after that? What happened? Where did this elite defense, and it's not just this game. It's all like it was last game too. They can't do it for all four quarters. And Doc Rivers apparently is a walking 26-point blown lead. That's what Doc Rivers is.
I bet they wish that they let Morey hire D'Antoni now instead of Doc, but
what?
I don't know. It was
see you, Ben. Goodbye, Tobias. It was nice knowing you. Good knowing you guys. Knowing you guys.
I'm very uncomfortable with the fact that, like, again, I'm not a put it on the coach guy. I'm not a put it on the coach guy. I'm really.
You have to a little bit in this circle.
But that was, taking all 5 starters off, bro. This isn't a back-to-back in January. What do you do? Like, when you're rolling a 5-man unit of Shake Milton,
even if it's just a 4-man bench unit with Tobias Harris.
Yeah, but you need to have Ben, Tobias, or Joel Embiid on the court at all times.
All times.
Look at everybody else in the league that has 3, like, whatever. Every team pretty much now has a big 3, or I can at least, like, whatever. You can, like, is McCollum, Lillard, Nurkic a big 3? No, but like Nurkic is their 3rd best player. So it is, but that's what it is. It's like you have 3 guys where that's your big 3. You can't take all 3 of them off the court at the same time.
Can't do it.
Because whether it's a 6-0 run or an 8-0 run or a 10-0 run, that's not
even
what's
if you're
kill
up
you.
by 20 points, you can't do it. It's the
exactly
playoffs.
That's not what's going to kill you because you're up by 26 or 28, whatever they were up by. A 10-0 run is not going to kill you. But the momentum that you're allowing that Atlanta offense to get is just unmatched. Like, you can't do that. You have to make them earn every possession when you're it's no disrespect to guys like Shake, but bro, you need one of Embiid, Simmons, or Harris on the court at all times because their offense is non-existent when all 3 of them are off. It was just, I don't know. I'm not a put it on the coach guy, but I'm not letting Ben Simmons off the hook either, shooting 28% from the line is just, I'm sorry.
I can't do that. Yeah,
it's inexcusable.
Yep.
Get in the gym. And this is exactly what I was texting you guys yesterday. Am I asking him to hit the mid-range? No. Is he going to hit a three? No. I don't care if he hits a three for the rest of his career.
Needs to hit his
I don't care.
I agree.
But you need to be able to. You need to be able to shoot at least 75% from the line. You have to.
Even with him, 60%. I would take 60% from him.
That's fine too. Just you can't be shooting 28% from the line.
If he shoots 60%, you can't do Hackabin. Hackabin doesn't work. 60%.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. 60% of the time works every time. Like it doesn't work. Like it doesn't work. You can't do that.
What a quote.
You can't do that.
Amazing.
You know what I mean? I'm a big movies guy. So like pretty much like 90% of the things I say come from
Are
movies
you really? Do we need to do a movie podcast?
I'm a big movie.
I go to the movies all
guy.
the time. Yeah. I
love
going to a movie theater.
Guy. Yeah. But it's inexcusable. You're shooting 28% from the line. You're not giving them a choice. They're just and people were laughing. I saw all of Philly Twitter laughing yesterday. Oh my gosh, we're up by 22 and they're already hacking Ben. What were you saying? Like it's just and now the worst part, you're allowing Trae Young to go back series clinching game in the A.
It's over. The series is over. I'm sorry.
I don't want to say it's over. I'm not that. Sixers
don't want that.
As a Sixers community, I would understand why you would say that.
Sixers don't want that. Sixers don't want that smoke. That's all.
I did call Joel Embiid dropping 35 and 13 yesterday. It's pretty close. Dropped 37 and 12.
The only one who wants that smoke is Tobias Harris and Seth Curry, and that's it. The rest of the team is a bunch of cowards, including Doc. Doc, I just can't believe that the head coach of a team was the one that looked like he was lost. That like he was the one that had that. This is what I told you in
game one. When after game one, we came on here the next day, and what did we talk about? I said, how brain dead do you have to be to allow Danny Green to go one-on-one on Trae Young for 24 minutes? How brain dead do you have to be? I'm like asking for a friend. How brain dead do you have to be? It's second round of the NBA playoffs, knowing that this franchise is never getting past the second round at this point. How do you allow yourself to be that clueless behind the bench saying, I'm allowing Danny Green to go one-on-one on Trae Young? How do you allow yourself to take Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid all off the court at the same time, let alone for a 4-minute stretch?
And it opens up when
it should have been 2 possessions. Time out. Whoa, time out. And you insert at least one of them back in the game. 2 straight possessions where Trae cooked you. You call timeout. It's enough. You stop it right there. You stop it. And he just let it go. He let it keep going. And Atlanta was the one that called the timeout during that stretch. And he didn't even check them back in. The other team was the one to call a timeout that stopped their own run. And you didn't even think to yourself, hey, let me check in the only 4 players that are actually playing basketball for me today.
Yep.
You have them all on the bench.
Seth Curry needs to play 40 minutes.
It's inexcusable.
Tobias Harris needs to play 40 minutes.
It doesn't make sense.
Ben Simmons needs to play 40 minutes.
It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And I'm sorry, Ben Simmons needs to get in the gym and start hitting free throws. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Get to the line and start hitting 28% in a free throw in a playoff run from the charity stripe is inexcusable. You're shooting 28%. There's no other word to describe that other than inexcusable. So even with all that being said, the reason why I'm not saying, oh, it's over in game 6 is because with all that happened, they still only lost by 4 points or 6 points, whatever it was. Like, it's just, they did have a 26-point lead at one point.
They did.
Take all the things that we said.
Past 2 games, they had an 18-point game.
That could have gone wrong. Anything that could have gone wrong for them yesterday went wrong in that second half. And they still almost won that game.
But like things keep going wrong. And I think the momentum at this point is just, I think the Sixers come out looking completely scared and they don't want it. They just don't.
Ben Simmons in that game played like he was playing 3-on-3 at the park.
Yeah.
That's the way he was playing yesterday. And it was driving me mad. Like You can't be shooting 28% from the line. I'm sorry.
No.
It's inexcusable. You would think in a game that Joel Embiid drops 37 and 12 or 37 and 11,
Seth
whatever
Curry
it was.
dropped 36.
And Seth Curry dropped 36. You would think you won the game by 40 points. You would think, okay, Joel dropped 37 and 11.
And it's not that Joel dropped 37.
Whatever.
He was actually dishing out pretty well. He had like 2
He had
steals,
5
like 4
blocks.
five blocks. Insane. Dude had an insane game.
And that, for me, it's like, okay, it's a day ending in Y. Philly has lost plenty of games, not just a game, plenty of games where Joel has posted up stat lines like that. But you have Seth Curry dropping 36. Not only did you not win by 40, you didn't win the game. Tighten up that rotation. Start coaching. Pick up the clipboard. Pick up the clipboard and start coaching. Okay, these minutes of George Hill.
Isn't it up
George
to
Hill
Doc?
Minutes? These like
gotta go.
It's got to stop.
So isn't this up to Doc to figure out and identify like what you were doing right in that first half and what Embiid was doing right was just posting up and just owning Clint Capella and owning the double team. But instead, Joel Embiid started in that second half trying to drive in from the perimeter and drive into the lane. Why is a 7-foot guy doing it? Even if that's Embiid's fault and like, hey, you got to stop it. Doc got to be the one to call timeout. Be like, hell no. Sit your ass down in the post and we're going to throw it to you and you're going to score that way. So it's ridiculous.
And even at the beginning of the game, he was floating around the perimeter again. And I literally went like this. I was like, okay, here we go again. And he starts off 3 for 3 from deep. He's banging home threes. They're saying how he went 12 for 12 from that exact spot right at the top of the key. And he's getting in the paint. He's got 17 and 3 in like 30 seconds. I was like, okay, this is a Philly game written all over it. It's 62-40 at half. And you allow that to happen? Insane. We could talk about Ben's free throw shooting all we want. We could talk about Joel Embiid handling the ball. First of all, why is Joel Embiid handling the ball? We could talk about anything else.
Why is he handling the ball at the top of the key?
Why is Joel Embiid handling the ball? Explain it to me. It's exactly what I said about Milwaukee. Why is Giannis handling the ball? Give me one reason why Giannis is handling the ball.
Shouldn't be.
These guys can't handle the ball. Joker can handle the ball. You can't handle the ball. Enough. Get in the post and dominate.
Let's go to one game tonight. Should be a good game. Should be fun. But showdown, basically. How are we doing? Is it just Kevin Durant, and only Kevin Durant?
Yeah, it's KD and Giannis, every single lineup. It's lather, rinse, repeat. We're 6 games into this series now. I don't know. I think I've ran out of reasons to tell you to play these guys.
I know Harden was a risk last game, and we decided, like, take a risk in a lineup with that. Are we doing it again? I guess he's, like...
Yeah, in a couple for sure. Because I liked what I saw in him. Like, people will look at the box score and say, oh, he played bad. First of all, watch the game. He did play bad. He didn't play bad. He did not play bad. He did not play bad.
Those turnovers weren't great.
He was cooking people with step back threes. He just couldn't. It wasn't dropping. He was dishing the rock well, and he was playing unreal defense.
He was playing unreal
defense. He was playing by
good.
The way, Philly was offered James Harden for Ben Simmons, and they said no. Oh man, because they didn't want Daryl Morey taking over the team.
I didn't think it was a bad idea.
I'm sorry, that was
like, I really didn't think it was a bad idea at the time. Was it a bad idea? Like, I felt like it deserved a shot with Doc.
Yes, I get to tell you get to acquire the most prolific offensive player of his generation. The answer should automatically be yes. Without giving up Joel Embiid, the answer should automatically be yes. And why? Because they didn't want to throw in Shake Milton into the deal?
No, they didn't want to throw in Maxey or Matisse, something like that.
Yeah, it was Milton and Maxey, and they said, we'll only give you one. And they said, okay, well, too bad.
Yeah, too bad. I don't know, man.
Wow.
Like, I think it deserved a shot. Whatever.
Wow.
Why? It's just all right. Now this is getting too much.
Yeah, my bad. I rubbed that one in. But I am going back to James Harden. I like what I saw from him. And you know what? Everyone's talking about the KD game in Game 5, and rightfully so. That was one of, if not the best playoff performances of all time. Certainly the best playoff performance that I've ever seen.
It really was. Yeah, it really was.
But James Harden went out there on one leg and logged 45 minutes. And he, whether we like it or not, he created enough space for KD to be able to do his thing. Because while he was hitting jumpers over PJ Tucker and Middleton and everybody but Giannis because he doesn't want that smoke, James Harden out there, he draws attention. So it's not a must, but it certainly makes things interesting. Just again, with everybody being priced up now, it definitely makes it a lot harder tonight than it does in last time's slate. But it is interesting because what happens if those shots are dropping for Harden tonight?
Right.
Look out.
That makes sense. Pat Connaughton tonight?
He's been logging good minutes for them. I'm not opposed to that, and you have to dip into these value plays, right? You're locking in KD and Giannis no matter what. You have. It's and not. Oh, well, I don't want to play.
I mean,
well, that's exactly it. I don't want to play Pat Connaughton. Well, too bad. Like if you want Giannis and KD, you have to play one of these guys. That's the way the math works out. Like it's everyone's in the same boat tonight. So you could go to Pat Connaughton. Personally, I'm not playing Bobby Portis, but if you want to take a shot that he re-enters the rotation, that's a guy that's going to be way under-owned, right? Personally, I'm not playing him. I wouldn't recommend playing him, but if you're taking a shot that he re-enters the rotation, you never know, right? So, but personally, I'm not playing him. PJ Tucker is going to be one of the highest owned guys because he's going to play 35 minutes and he's 2,400. But again, it's PJ Tucker. Everyone knows.
We all know what he's on the floor for. Yeah.
Anybody that has seen any show, article, anything that I've produced content-wise for Win Daily, they know that how I feel about PJ Tucker. So,
you think he's the greatest player of all time?
No, I would summarize PJ Tucker in one way, and I said it in Discord.
PJ Tucker was intimidating Kevin Durant last game. Okay. No, we don't. Do we get that? Do we get the reference?
The funniest thing was when he said "we dogs" after the first series. Who's we? Who exactly is we?
Who is
we? We dogs. Who is we? You're that's an inclusive statement that you're making right now? No.
Blake Griffin?
No. Yeah, I mean you gotta go. Okay, so on the Nets, it's KD, Harden, Jeff. I'm locking in Jeff Green no matter what. I said that last time.
Why not?
I recommended playing Jeff Green in the captain spot yesterday. Not yesterday, the day before that. And the guy shot lights out. So I was pretty proud of that call. I'm going right back. I need counseling. You don't because you're not the only one. And at 20, like if you're looking at those players, okay, like let's say 3,200 and below, because Claxton's kind of like in that no man's land right now. So let's go 3,200 and below. It's roughly 3K and below. You have Shamet that's going to see the court. PJ Tucker is going to play 35 minutes. Bobby Portis hasn't seen the court in a bit. And none of these $1,000 guys are not seeing the court. And I know people are going to say, well, last time someone won with a zero with $1,000. Okay. If you're expecting KD to drop 50, 20, and 10 again, okay, then play a guy at $1,000 that's not going to see the court. But you got to hope that you're looking at it from a combination perspective. When you're looking at the $1,000 guy and you're paying up for Jrue Holiday or Chris Middleton, Jrue Holiday is going to put up, 35, 30 to 40, and 35 is mid-range. 40 is going to be a good game for him. That $1,000 guy is going to put up 0. So can you get 2 mid-range guys that are going to put up 20 each? I really do think you can. So that's why I'm not doing that strategy, but it has won before. It's showdowns. Anything goes in showdowns.
So I do want to, because now it's something you said did make me think of just betting this game. It's going to be really hard for KD. Like KD's obviously one of the best player on planet Earth, but even that performance, it's been done like once all time. Like, does he have to do that again for them to win? Does James Harden get involved more so they don't need to? Is this a spot? I'm asking basically, is this just a spot for Milwaukee to maybe bounce back, win this one, take it to 7? I think the Nets ultimately win this series, no matter if it's tonight or next game. But how do you think this one goes?
I hammered Brooklyn with the points. I got it at 6.5.
It's still a 5.5. Like that's still a lot of points. Like you.
Yeah, it is. And I got it 6.5. I actually took it that same night when I cashed out on Brooklyn money line. I took my profit from there and I put it on 6.5 the same night.
Nice. Okay.
So I got it right away because there's no way Harden's not playing this game, and he's confirmed that he's playing in this game. So To me, laying 6.5. If Milwaukee wins this game, they're gonna squeak out of it. It's not gonna be. I can't see Milwaukee winning by 15. I can't. Kevin Durant's on another planet right now, and they can't keep up with this offense. They can't. To be able to do that. What did it take for them to keep up with this offense? It took Giannis and Middleton to combine for
Giannis actually had a good game and
72. Yeah, like that game when they were keeping up with them. Giannis and Middleton combined for 72, and Brooklyn's big three shot 30% from the field, and they won by 2.
I mean, well,
it's not exactly motivating me to be on the Brooklyn side. That's a lot of points against the best offense in the league right now. It's a lot of points.
It's just tough. It really is. Because
I
Giannis had a spectacular game last game, and they still lost it.
Yeah, he did. But again, I think it's very. I don't even know how to describe this without sounding really mean, but it was very.
You're the meanest person.
What? Don't say that.
That was a sarcasm.
It's very soft that he didn't grab the clipboard and say, "I'm D'ing up Kevin Durant." That's very soft. That's a loser's mentality. That's what that is.
So you're going Nets tonight?
I'm going Nets. That to me speaks to bigger things when he's in his post-game presser and he's saying Kevin Durant's the best player on the planet right now.
They don't want that.
That's not it. That's not it, bro. Even if he's right, you don't say that.
The total is interesting. It's 220.5. That is right back down to, I guess, what because it was way high. Bunch of games went under. Last game was around 220, and now this one. And I think that game went over. Are we expecting another over here?
I never bet unders, so I'll always say the over. The over could have been 299 tonight, and I would have said take the over.
Jesus, really?
I never bet unders, but I'm not touching the total tonight because I think it's going to be really close to that. I don't think it's going to be. I think this could be a 109 to 105 game, just like it could be a 114 to 110 game. It's going to be in that vicinity.
Yeah,
I don't see this. Yeah, I don't see it.
114, 108 wasn't a ton of points that they put up last time. Like I could see something very similar to that.
Well, that's exactly it, right? You're talking about the most prolific offense in the league right now. Giannis he's gonna show out. It's game 6. His season's on the line, and Bud's job is on the line too. So they're gonna come out guns blazing. It wouldn't surprise me to see a guy like Forbes or Connaughton get hot from deep. Like they need that. When you look at the game after and you say, "Wow, I can't believe Milwaukee won that game," or "I can't believe Brooklyn won that game." I feel like this game's gonna come down to a guy like Landry Shamet being lights out from deep, even if it's only for 15 minutes and he's only taking 4 to 5 shots. Same thing with Connaughton, same thing with Forbes. It's going to be guys like that really dictate this game because you look at Kevin Durant, well, look at what happened 48 hours ago. It's self-explanatory. And you look at Giannis with his back up against the wall and his season up against the wall. He's gonna show out. Like, to me, it's star for star. Obviously, I'm taking Brooklyn because Middleton is just not whatever. Everyone knows how I feel about Chris Middleton. It's going to be the other guys around him. It's going to be the Landry Shamets. It's going to be the Jeff Greens. Like, if you look at what happened last game with Brooklyn, everyone's talking about Kevin Durant. And again, rightfully so. But where would they have been without James Harden playing that defense that he was playing? Where would they have been without Jeff Green going 7 for 8 from deep? Starting off 7 for 7.
Yeah.
Man dropped 21 points off the bench, 7 for 7 from behind the arc. Where would they have been without that kind of performance, right? So it's going to come down to guys like that. If Forbes is the guy that goes 7 for 7, we're talking about a 10 to 15 point swing in Milwaukee's favor. Just like it could be Shamet, just like it could be Jeff Green again, just like it could be a Blake Griffin game. It's going to come down to the role players who shows out more. And right now, I have way more faith in Brooklyn's roster than I do in Milwaukee's.
So a couple of lineups that did come in: Jimmy, Kitty, Giannis, Middleton, Jeff Green, Pat Connaughton, and PJ Tucker.
It's probably going to be the most popular lineup there is tonight. That's
really
there's going to be 500 million lineups with that exact combination, and it's not a bad one. It's really good, because again, you have KD in the captain spot. Whether you go KD or Giannis, they're interchangeable at the captain spot, and then You get Middleton or Drew. Everyone's going Jeff Green in the mid-range, or at least they should be. If they're not, they're making a mistake. And then you're playing the only two guys in the value plays that are going to get minutes. You could throw Shamet in there. So that three-man rotation of value plays in Shamet, Connaughton, and Tucker, Jeff Green in the mid-range with Blake Griffin, and those are pretty much the only two in the mid-range that I would play. And then it's Middleton or Drew with KD or Giannis locked in. That's what it is tonight. It's very straightforward.
So basically, why you want to include Harden is because you want to be different. You don't think. I imagine after that game, not many are going to have Harden.
Nobody's going to play them.
Yeah.
No one's going to play Harden. And the thing is that if you look at what he did last time, he still
had the volume and everything, and
he's still produced. And last slate, he was 17% owned in my contest. 17%. We're talking about the most prolific offensive player of this generation. If those step back threes hit, I'm telling you, he's cruising to 50 DraftKings points, and Jrue Holiday or Middleton, that's one crazy game for them to be able to drop 50 DK. So when you're talking about that third stud that's dropping 50 plus along with Giannis and KD, you're really separating yourself from the pack. So it's an interesting strategy. I will have a couple like that showdowns. I always run multiple lineups. That's what we always do. You have to be able to run a couple lineups. It's tough to be able to just run one single entry unless you're really confident that you have the stones, like I did last night with Utah and the Clippers. But that's what it is.
And just want to shout out Derek. Took down a nice slate, didn't he?
3K today from my man
Look
Derek.
At that. So congrats to Derek. Yeah, round of applause for Derek.
One of the hardest working guys in our Discord. So you love to see it. Way to go, bro. Nice job.
So basically, he's telling you this is the lineup today. He's not asking for help. He's telling you this is the lineup.
Yeah, that's the secondary version that I have when I'm playing James Harden, right? I'm taking that risk to be able to go Jeff Green in the captain spot, because if you look last slate, if KD doesn't, I don't want to say if KD doesn't take over the fourth, because we knew he was taking over the fourth, but if he doesn't go, if he doesn't go Michael Jordan X Magic Johnson X Hakeem X Wilt, whatever that was not human. The Jeff Green captain line wasn't first for the longest time, and that was the line that we had, right? So it's definitely a possibility again tonight. And if you're looking at the difference between that one and the one that we had up on the screen before, sure, your captain's going to score less points, right? You know that automatically Jeff Green is not outscoring Giannis or KD tonight. It's not happening. Everyone knows that. But we're talking about Harden over Jrue Holiday, and you have the same value plays that are in there. You're not playing $1,000 guys that are not going to see the court. You have the same value plays as everybody else. So at that point, it's if Jeff Green shoots lights out, if KD doesn't drop 100 again, he dropped 100 DraftKings points last night. If he drops something more normal, actually human statistics, and Harden picks up,
doesn't go completely nuclear. That's what I think.
But that's exactly it, right? So I feel like everyone's going
kind of triple-double again.
Yeah, like everyone's going captain spot. I'm going KD. Okay, but you're really limiting your lineup, because I understand last late it was the Stones, because he had 50, 17, and 10, or 49, 17, and 10. Is he going to do that again? Like, are you really expecting Kevin Durant to drop 100 DraftKings points? More realistically, forget about DFS for a second. Are you expecting Kevin Durant to play 48 minutes again? Because the man didn't leave the court.
That's a good
question. Didn't leave the floor.
I imagine he does this game.
So that's the thing. Is he playing another 48 minutes? Like, there's a lot of things you got to kind of play out there and say, okay, if Harden gets hot, does that allow Kevin Durant to come off the floor? Even if it's for 2 minutes at a time? 2 minutes in the first, 2 minutes in the second? Like, these are all scenarios where you got to end up playing them out, right? So I'm really interested in Harden tonight because of that factor. Because
so we did have a couple.
Shamet over Forbes.
So we did have a couple, questions along with that lineup, or over Connaughton.
Man, I would check the projection model. They're all in the same.
Which you can do. WinPlaySports.com projection model. Keep it open.
They're all in the same boat for me. It's really just it's all about mixing and matching. I don't really have a preference. I do think that Connaughton gets a bit more run tonight, but if Forbes comes out guns blazing, then like if Milwaukee's chasing points, they're gonna need Forbes on the court, shoot the three, right? So that's a spot. So I lean Connaughton over Forbes, but it's not like I'm taking Forbes completely out of my player pool. He's certainly in my player pool, and you got to think that the Shamet outscored PJ Tucker 15 minutes versus 35. That's a decision that you have to make. I think everyone knows where my answer lies, but you have to make that decision, right? So the Shamet outscored PJ Tucker in 15 minutes compared to Tucker's 35.
All right, that is the NBA playoff DFS preview. If you have any more questions, just last one real quick, because I think it's a solid question. Harden at the captain. It's risky, but
no, not tonight. And it's not because I don't like it. It's because the way that the pricing worked this time, it doesn't change the lineup construction.
Okay.
Like it's not like when you play Harden. If we take Jimmy's lineup from before, where you had Giannis, KD, Middleton, Tucker, Connaughton, and Jeff Green. If you end up going Harden at captain over KD, right? Because those are, and then you're going Harden over Middleton, right? So you have Harden at captain with Giannis and KD. You can't get from Jeff Green to Blake Griffin or someone like that. So for me, it's like you're still using the same trio at the bottom with Jeff Green and then two of Forbes, Connaughton, Shamet, all the guys that I named there, PJ Tucker. Like that's where, because the lineup construction doesn't really change with Harden at captain versus Durant or Giannis, I'm just going Durant or Giannis. And I will have a couple lines with Jeff Green. That's the only other captain that I'm considering. Same thing as my article from 2 days ago. If you read that article from 2 days ago, it's the exact same process for me tonight. I said that I'm going with Giannis or KD at captain. If I'm taking a shot, it's going to be Jeff Green. And the thing now is that last slate, Jeff Green was nowhere to be found in the captain spot besides anybody at Win Daily, because I was pretty much one of the only people that wrote that in the industry. So that's where Jeff Green, the captain spot there. But again, with him going lights out last game, might be a bit more popular tonight. So
yeah,
for me, it's Durant and Giannis. If you're going anywhere else, it's Jeff Green. So obviously, just by default, that's the lowest I'll go. And then whoever's not in my captain spot between Giannis and KD, they're in the flex automatically. Those two are locked in for me. And then I'm grabbing one of Jrue Holiday, Middleton, Blake Griffin, like that mid-range, Jeff Green. And then the value plays, it's really that quartet there. Forbes, Tucker, Connaughton, and Shamet. Those are the four.
WinDailySports.com, NBA playoff DFS preview. I'm glad we squeezed 30 minutes out of that. Now, about half of it was me just whining and bitching and complaining about the Sixers, but even if, glad we could do that. WinDailySports.com/chat. Go to the Discord chat. Talk to our DFS gurus as your your showdown lineups. If I could say that out loud, normally you could hear that. But yes, DFS gurus in the chat. They'll have it all for you. One of them is going to be Ghost. But Ghost, great job, man. Always get it done.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Yes,
always again, a pleasure. I love these shows.
Congrats to our guy Derek for taking out, because I know he's in here a lot, and he's the one of the ones that's always in this chat and always watching. So glad he took out.
Big T 2 days ago. Big T was 2 days ago. Derek was last night.
Congrats, Big T.
I think. All right. I think by default tonight's Jimmy's night. It's got to be Jimmy tonight. Big T was 2 days ago. Derek was yesterday. It's got to be Jimmy tonight.
Jimmy, tonight's your night. That's you know what? That's how we're gonna end it here. WinDailySports.com.